Hello, first tonight, thousands of people are either offline or having problems with their phones tonight after vandals cut through cables in a village in Hertfordshire.
The police have been called in after fibre optic cables were damaged at Redbourn. The BBC has received complaints from as far afield as Hemel Hempstead, Caddington, Luton, Dunstable, Houghton Regis and Shefford. BT says the problems are affecting broadband connections more than home phones, but it's one of a growing number of cases involving cable theft and vandalism in this region. Nikki Jenkins is in Redbourn now. Nikki.
Thank you, Susie. Well, BT are calling this a malicious act. 7 cables severed, apparently in broad daylight at midday yesterday. Now, BT have been on site since trying to repair the damage. There are about 6 or so units still here behind me. They'll be working through the night, and I can't say I envy them in these conditions. But that's just one of BT's problems. They're having to placate angry customers who are demanding better protection for the network. This is the network infrastructure. If British Telecom were British Rail, then this would be the East Coast Main Line, and it would be the internet service providers, everyone from Sky to Pipex, who've been derailed. More than 20 miles away in Shefford, it's causing a real headache for local businesses.
The most important thing is my brides, because I can't respond to their emails. Therefore, they could possibly go elsewhere. Why haven't they got some sort of backup?
Oh, you'd like to go and view that property? Fantastic. Yes, what sort of time?
Nearby, the estate agents are relying on the phone, but that's not how they do business these days.
You might just as well ask me to cut my legs off and then still run a marathon. We live in a world where everybody wants it now, and we offer a service where hopefully they get it now. We're reliant on the internet and connection to be able to provide that level of service.
BT says it's mainly business broadband customers that have been affected, but we've been hearing from plenty of residential customers who've lost their telephones too. Their frustration is rising.
I'm very angry about it, really, because it's the second time, and, you know, nobody's telling you nothing, you don't know nothing, you pick the phone up and it still makes the same old whining noise.
For all these customers, it's the second time they've been cut off this month. And across the region, the lack of security on the network is affecting many, many more. Moulton Park Industrial Estate was left without phones or internet when thieves stole copper cabling. West Berkholt in Essex has been cut off 3 times by thieves. These cables, though, are fibre optic, not copper. And perhaps that's why whoever did this decided to resort to mindless vandalism. Either way, it's costing the company and its customers dear. Well, 2 of the 3 main cable here have already been repaired, and BT hope that they'll have everything up and running again by midday tomorrow. Meanwhile, because of reduced capacity on the network, other customers may be getting a lot of engaged tones when they try to use their phones. It's all part of the same problem. Now, BT told me that they had reported this to Hertfordshire Police. The police tell me that although they're aware of problems in Redbourn, that no official complaint has been made. And that may be of some concern to customers, but BT again in a statement told me that the protection of their structures and their network is of paramount importance to them and that their systems are robust. Back to you.
Nikki, thank you very much. And if you've had a problem and you can manage to call us on another line, here's the number.
The body of a soldier from Suffolk who was killed by a grenade in Helmand Province has been flown back from Afghanistan. Lance Corporal of Horse Jonathan Woodgate was serving with the Household Cavalry. He was just days away from coming home.
An all too familiar sight at RAF Lavenham. Bodies of the latest British soldiers to be killed in Afghanistan being flown home. 3 were on board today. All men killed in separate incidents in Helmand Province in the last month. Jonathan Woodgate from Lavenham in Suffolk lost his life on Friday. He was killed while on foot patrol by a grenade thrown from behind a wall. The cortege passed through the streets of Wootton, Bassett, where crowds stood in the rain to pay silent tribute to the 3 coffins. The people of this market town have seen this sight more than 100 times in the last 2 years. And in South Yorkshire today, people turned out to pay their respects at the funeral of another Royal Anglian. Captain Martin Driver from 1st Battalion died 3 weeks after he was wounded in Afghanistan. Fatally injured by a roadside bomb in February, He was buried in Cudworth near Barnsley. Jenny Kirk, BBC Look East.
Now, Easter is just days away and already our tourist industry is promising a bumper season. A survey by East of England Tourism shows bookings are up and it says the region is well placed to reap the benefits of a weak pound.
In the tourist honeypot of Cambridge, Americans have good reason to smile. With the dollar strong against the pound, they're getting more bangs for their bucks.
Generally pretty affordable. Yeah, pretty comparable.
We fed 6 people at a nice restaurant the other day for about £100, so we thought the exchange rate was fairly good.
Tourism accounts for some 200,000 jobs in the East. It brings more than £5 billion a year into the economy. The survey of business confidence in the industry shows a dramatic turnaround. Last Easter, 59% of those polled expected a drop in visitor numbers. This Easter, 65% expect numbers to either increase or stay the same. Breydon Water Holiday Park in Norfolk saw a 20% increase in business last year. This year they're expecting to do even better, with last year's satisfied customers coming back again.
They had such a fantastic experience on the holiday parks with park resorts that they've rediscovered UK caravan holidays, so they're coming back because of the entertainment and the area in general.
Down the coast, driving rain at East Mersey in Essex, but the family-run Fen Farm camping site has reasons to be confident.
At the end of the day, once you've bought your tent, all you've got to pay for is the site fees when you get here and your food, and you have to eat at home anyway.
From the Suffolk market town of Framlingham, Polly Robinson runs Food Safari, celebrating the county's food and drink producers. She organises farm walks, workshops, cookery demonstrations and feasts. She uses Facebook and Twitter, where she has 1,800 followers, to spread the message.
I'm a really small business. I don't have a big marketing budget at all. And social media is free. So I can use Twitter to reach a really huge audience. It enables me to punch above my weight.
The chief executive of East of England Tourism also tweets, and his message is a positive one.
Last year, 2009, was a record year for visitors to the East of England, and we hope that 2010 will be equal to, if not better than, last year.
The hope now, a golden Easter weekend to banish the winter blues. Kim Riley, BBC Look East.
Well, Frankie McGee is responsible for tourism in Cambridge. She joins us now. Obviously, things are looking pretty healthy at the moment, but how much of this is down to the weak pound, do you think?
Well, I think, first of all, we've got to say Cambridge is such a wonderful place, so whether the pound is strong or weak, let's hope visitors come. But I do think it's had a great sort of influence on people coming, because people coming from Europe, America, North America, that is, are really getting good value for money and enjoying themselves.
And as far as the recession is concerned, do you think that more people now are choosing to holiday at home?
I think that's quite possible, because if you think of perhaps you and I, we need a break. What are we going to do? Oh, hey, let's go local. Let's have a short break. And that's what we'd like people to do, to come and have a short break, because there's so much to see and do. It's not just a day trip, it's a well-earned break.
And are you actually getting a lot more bookings, or is it just inquiries that are up at the moment?
No, I think we're getting a lot more bookings. Year on year, the visitor numbers coming through the Tourist Information Centre doors are up, which is good. So that must have an effect on all the businesses, hopefully in Cambridge and the surrounding area.
Well, Frankie McGee, thank you very much for talking to us this evening.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, still